And then you start this journey of starring in an insane amount of Christmas movies and Aurora Teagar mystery movies.
Yeah.
What a ride. I mean, that was just like an insane amount of work, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it
over
was
the
a lot.
time that I was there, I did 30 movies.
Yeah, that's an insane amount of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize just how much you are running as fast as you can to keep up with production and working like that, because that's an insane schedule.
Yeah. And that it was a lot. And also Fuller House had come back at that time while I was doing The View and I was doing the movies.
Well, let's talk about that. Because I got a call from Stamos and he said, I'm talking to people talking about the thing and they want to bring the show back. And I'm like, well, what? And he was like, they want to bring the show back. And I go, what show? I'm playing golf. Yeah. And so he started to tell me, they want to bring Full House back. And I was just like, is anything concrete yet? He goes, it's just talking, but are you interested? And I said, well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I am. And then it started to become a real thing. And then it was a real thing.
Yeah.
And it was just, for me, very surreal.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I mean, you guys were in early talks about the show. You were kind of formulating what the new series was going to be, Full House 2.0. But for me, it was kind of like, we'll get Joey, so I was kind of getting little bits and pieces of it. And then all of a sudden it was like, it's on. And I was like, oh, okay, this is real,
Yeah.
But what a ride that was to be able to.
Incredible.
I mean, you had a 10-year hiatus. We had a way longer hiatus from doing Full House to Fuller House.
Yeah.
But you put a lot of those pieces together for the new show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've said this many times, probably not to you, but just in the media, of how proud I was of you guys.
Thank you.
How great I thought you were, because from being a comedian, I looked at the way you guys tackled comedy and I was so proud. It was just like, wow, they're really funny. You guys were really funny. And I was so proud of that. I'm tearing up a little bit, but it just made me so happy that you guys were so good.
We had great teachers.
Well, I don't know if I was a teacher. I'm sure, still,
but little eyes are always watching. So you're leading by example, whether you're trying to or not.
But you guys were so good. And it made me happy that you were being respectable, I guess is the word, you were upholding the franchise in a great way,
Well, that was really important to me. So in those earlier talks, because Jeff Franklin is the one that came and said, hey, Jody, Andrea, Candace, can we have lunch together? And it was like, let's talk about this. And I think all of us were like, I'm in, like, yes, let's do this.
Yeah.
But because I had been back in the business for a bit, and I've been in family-friendly television my whole life, and I've never wanted to steer from that. I've had the offers to do that, and I choose not to. I choose to be in family entertainment. So it was really important to me that the Fuller House brand kept
you stayed true to the brand.
Stayed
you really
true
did.
to its
I don't want to
original.
Put words in your mouth, but you did.
The original show, that it's a show that families can watch together and enjoy and laugh. And obviously we understand times are more contemporary, so there'll be more contemporary themes.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I would go back and do Fullest House or Fuller House, whatever. I wish it never ended. Just being with all of you guys and then was amazing.
Yeah, and it was my first directorial show that I did on a sitcom, and you too as well. And Andrea wrote an episode, which I was so proud of her for doing. And you guys were so fun to direct, because being on the other side of the camera, as you know, is a totally different headspace. You're trying to make sure that you stay true to the story that you're trying to tell, but you're also trying to give your actor something.
Yeah.
And you guys, you go, Candace, do that. And you're like, got it. boom. And
yeah,
it was
there's
just
a
easy.
shorthand. There's a shorthand with all of us because we know the characters so well. We all pretty much know what we want to see.
That's a good way to describe it.
And we're all visionaries because we've also been working those sets for so long. So you can say it in shorthand and we're like, yeah, we understand what you're needing from us. However, can I just say we laughed at you every time you would direct in a loving way, because it was like, Dave is so funny. You are so funny all the time. Dave's always funny all the time. But then there's this whole other side of Dave, and I like to call it Pilot Dave, because Dave also took me flying up in your plane one time.
Yes,
and it
I
was
did.
like the first time I saw serious Dave, because he was flying a plane, and you're
really not that serious.
You're not messing around. Yeah. I mean, not like just like professional serious. You know, just calm and controlled and like not throwing the jokes because you're flying a plane. Yeah. So when you directed, I was like, oh, Pilot Dave is directing.
Yeah.
Pilot Dave directed. Well, so it's fun. And then when you were only actor Dave on some episodes, then I was like, this is Dave.
He's back.
But then Pilot Dave would direct.
Well, I have those two hemispheres up here that are constantly.
You have to. That's why you did it well.
Yeah, well, that's really nice of you to say. I would do Fullest House in a heartbeat.
I know.
Want to hear my pitch?
Yeah.
Want to hear what it is?
Tell me.
It's all of us. Yeah. We're all adults.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Friends.
Okay.
It's kind of like Friends.
We are adults.
Because we are adults now. But we update it to we've all moved into a couple of houses away from each other.
Okay.
Because we can't move away from each other. And
we live in a cul-de-sac?
Yes, we live in the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So we're just in each other's lives like Seinfeld and Friends. But we keep Danny Tanner alive by doing flat. Remember that time Danny, what would
like
Danny
Flat
do
Stanley?
right now?
Is that what you were
Not
gonna
like
say?
Flat Stanley. Flat Danley.
Flat Danley.
No, it's we just cut back and we relive moments with Bob.
Okay.
So it might be some, using some earlier footage from the show, but we kind of get to keep Bob alive.
Just his memory. And
Absolutely.
by talking about him all the time.
Absolutely.
We're like, oh, remember when Dad did this? Or Dad would probably say this right now.
Yes. And we just write really funny scripts that revolve around our lives now, where we can't get out of each other's lives.
I'm in, man.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I think it'd be really fun.
Me too.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Me too.
Now, Candace is a big shot executive. You're an exec at GAC. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am so proud of you. And I know your life is really hectic, juggling a lot of stuff right now. What's coming up with your projects there? Tell us about what a typical day is being an executive. You're spinning a lot of plates, I know.
I am.
What's coming up?
Well, Great American Family Channel, we have, I am launching a new mystery series, like a series of movies that are mysteries. So
nice.
That's really wonderful. Of course, we're like Christmas all the time.
Right.
My company also produces several other movies with other actors that I love doing.
Do you enjoy it?
Oh, I love producing so much. So much so that I'm like,
I had to ask, but you can tell.
Yeah, I would. I still like acting, and I don't know that I'll stop, but I really enjoy producing movies, and I just enjoy having all of the creativity and the input, but I don't have to put my actor cap on. So I don't have to memorize lines and actually be in front of the camera. So producing is very much a sweet spot for me.
Did you bring your actor cap today? I would love to see it. Do we have one?
Do I get to win an actor cap, please?
Maybe. I think you already won one.
Some days I forget. Am I an actor? Am I a
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Full House Rewind. We'll see you next week.